Sometimes I think that everything down to my own sense of vision is affected by the social standards I grew up with and the social problems I was made to confront growing up. Sometimes I think that my own sense of how good my vision is was influenced by things that teachers did to me or said about me or tried to say about me more so than saying about me, because it should be clear by now that I'm not of the opinion that all teachers are good teachers by some natural instinct or by being born a woman or by being given a teaching certificate that they're good at it. I think that some teachers will say anything that comes at the top of their head and they won't really benefit the same amount of time to kids in there, especially if they're special needs or in any other way sort of special or, dyslexic. Maybe if they're autistic, and that there's this selective attitude towards children who display neurotypical behaviors, and it can be severely stunting to early children and early growth. Oftentimes those kids are placed as like a golden child near the front of the class to sit so they can see the board well, and then they go and give that kid glasses. They say, hey, you have bad vision, but this kid has been made to sit in the front seat of the class every day of his life, so is it his fault? It being natural. Oftentimes these kids are the only person who can do certain executive motor actions, like tie your own shoes or grasping like a pencil or crayon in their hand well, and they're the only kid that can do this just yet. And there's like this certain level of superiority or favoritism, or there's a certain level of specialness to them as well, and it might not be related to autism or oftentimes being put in an advanced reading grade. And there's like all of these factors to be taken into account when navigating that social space, is this level of expertise in areas that is not supposedly the norm for children their age. So I often think that I have 20/20 vision despite being medicated and corrected by optometrists and always being sent there by teachers who were also treating me as a golden child in good times and a scapegoat in others. And even to this day, I don't think I have the first problem with seeing, but it's still like a cognitive dissonance there. It's like still weird and a mindfuck that I'm aware that I have very good sight and I can look at that cloud all the way over there and see it crisply, and it's just like the first time I put in a contact lens, because that's how long I wore glasses from 5th grade to high school, where I got contact lenses. Is I remember saying, wow, I can see every leaf really crisply. I can see the clouds up there and they're perfect. And before, all I could see was fuzzy lines and hardly any lines, just fuzzy shapes. And me later that year stumbling upon this book on an associated subject of meditation called it was something about visualization skills, very strong visualization skills, and this whole sect. It was called mentalism, and it was a study of mentalism, which I think in like high culture, pop culture, it sort of died out in the 1800s. But this book was like some person who probably discovered it and tried to bring it back. And I wouldn't say mentalism is the biggest topic out there right now, but that's the study. And like it sounds, it has everything to do with, you know, basic mind control, self-control, not mind control of other people, mind control of your own self, control of your own mind, of your mind, all is mind. And reading about mentalism, doing some further research on the topic, I found, people even said that masters of this technique could heal eyesight. And I thought this was so strange because it's like something that is medical in nature and not weird and woo-woo. And, but also makes good sense to me because of things that I had found for myself to be true. Though it might be the tiniest bit bizarre, culturally speaking, I do believe it to be true. I mean, even if we were growing and living our lives entirely in a Christian paradigm, a proto-Christian paradigm, then we could still see countless instances of the eponymous Jesus Christ being of healing, and healing a blind man, healing a man who can't walk, and he could walk now, you know, even going so far as to raise a dead body from a tomb and have that body walk. All of these things just part of what God could do. Or hearing stories about a man with terminal cancer being 100% healed and free to live his life the way he did before ever hearing the news of a diagnosis, which is hard news to hear, whatever the diagnosis, being 100% healed. So then why couldn't it be that me growing the most of my childhood believing I needed to wear eyeglasses to see like the other kids and the other people, why couldn't I also be healed 100% completely? And it's shown to me that I can see very well, very good, very clearly, with or without any sort of eye technician help. Even now, in my perfectly relaxed state, I can look at these clouds. I'm at a park, right? I can look at these clouds and I can see them so beautifully. It's like I was holding a Renaissance painting before my eyes and seeing every crisp brushstroke. That's how well I can see. But I don't believe that I was breathing this deeply all those years ago as a kid, because as a kid, I would often get so stressed and anxious, sometimes to the point that I'd throw up and get sick. That how could I possibly be relaxing my body so well that I can see what's happening with perfect clarity. I can see the grass blades, each of them, and as I breathe and look at around me, I can see all of these things, and they're all beautiful. This tree right here is one of these trees that gives off these little red beans, and they're so bright and red. They're so scarlet. I like to collect the beans at this tree sometimes. I can see these really clearly. I was told I was myopic, that I'd be nearsighted for the rest of my life and only look at what's in front of me, not be able to see what's far ahead or outside. And I don't think that it was truthful to think of myself like that.